that's embarrassingly more effort than it should have. Okay, so remember how I told you guys, like, on this camera phone I'm using, like, if you're taking a video, there's like a grid, and I mentioned that there's like a line in like the center that will tell you if you're like not center. I don't know why, but for this particular video, it just wouldn't be center anymore. Like, what happened? I don't know. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I never really used to pay attention to that line, especially when it never shows up in the actual video anyway. But I get the feeling like if I didn't like adjust the camera as much as I just did now, like I would just be distracted by that line the entire time, and I am not going to have that. And it's so weird, again, I never even paid attention to it all until now. So let's get to my low and behind active kindness. Well, in a surprising turn of events, my low is it rained last night. What's even funnier is I was asleep for the entire time it rained. I mean, I know this weekend we are supposed to be getting a lot of rain, which we do need rain. And considering what I plan on doing this weekend, you know, being up at Keuka Lake, I mean, I said supposed to say it again, I love Keuka Lake, but I don't really, you know, crave it being sunny as much as most other people do. So, there you go. But I can definitely see why being rainy out, well, actually it's not raining at all right now, but it did rain. There's actually a whole lot of puddles out there. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it rains later today. Like, I think today and tomorrow, there's like a 55% chance of rain, which, I mean, what did Matt Damon's character say in Oppenheimer? 0% would be nice. Yeah, that's true. My high was also in a surprising turn of events. I got to see my nephews last night, and it was great. I was not expecting to see my nephews at all whatsoever. Actually, hold on a second. For the record, my computer wasn't on the entire time. It's honestly just here so I could charge these headphones. Headphones come in a little thing right here. So, yeah, honestly, I'm just charging my headphones right now, as long as I'm here. Anyway, I got to see my nephews last night. It was a lot of fun, and by extension, I got to see my brother and his wife. It was also a lot of fun. And also, my family and my folks and I also went to Sam's Club, because we didn't really see my nephews that long. Honestly, what happened was, my brother and his wife like to work out in my folks' neighborhood, just go for like a run. So that's what they did. They just went for a quick run, and we watched my nephews in the meantime, and it was great. So after we saw my nephews, we got to go to Sam's Club, which brings up my act of kindness, which is obviously helping my parents watch my nephews. That was a big thing, but also I helped my parents shop for some things, because it's so funny. I got to Sam's Club early, knowing there were a few things that my parents genuinely needed. So I went to get them, and then I went back to the door, only to find out like they had already gone in and I never saw them. So that was weird and a bit awkward. But everything was taken care of. You know, my parents got the stuff they needed. I got the stuff that I needed. So it's all good. And also part of my high is, I mean, I know it was only 3 weeks, and depending on your opinion, depending on, you know, your perception of time, 3 weeks can either be really short or really long. But man, it was great being in this city on a Friday night again. I mean, I have stuff to do in Corning, and then actually I have something to do in Horseheads later today. But just being in this general area, my home, on a Friday, for the first time in like 3 weeks, it was refreshing. really refreshing. I mean, after I went to Sam's Club with my folks, and for the first time in 3 weeks, I went back to Nick's, which, I mean, spoiler, Nick's was awesome. But here's the thing. For once, I didn't get their fish fry. Normally, that is my go-to normally if ever I go to Nick's. But after having elbow room wings on Wednesday, I was just craving more wings. And honestly, I've said this before, the wings at Nick's Pub and Grill and Horseheads, they really are top quality. I love these wings. I mean, again, here's the thing. These wings get better and better each and every time I have them. And these were the best wings from Nick's I've had so far. Straight up. I thought they were the very best. From Nick's anyway. I mean, Nick's has a ways to go to catch up to the likes of places like Elbow Room or Lakeside or Valley Inn. But, again, I'm not sleeping on Nick's. And after having the wings last night, I really got to think about how I order food from there from now on. Especially when I realized they charge 99 cents extra for another thing of blue cheese. Who cares? It's cool. I mean, I was going to pay the same regard. I mean, the wings are only $1 cheaper than the fish fry. So, not like it's that big of a deal, but, you know, it would have been nice to just, you know, not pay as much. I mean, again, the blue cheese. The blue cheese is what got me. Hey, listen, I'm a proud upstate New Yorker, okay? We love blue cheese with our wings. You know, and don't get me wrong, I like ranch. I would never hate on ranch. In fact, I mean, the food at Nick's is really good, but you know what's really good at Nick's? Their ranch. Like, seriously, like, Keith Habsburg of the Try Guys, I doubt you'll ever see this, but you gotta come here, you gotta go to Nick's, and you gotta have anything with their ranch. Because that ranch will blow your mind. Like, oh my God. Like, this is good ranch, man. I mean, again, I would never have, even for a ranch as good as that is, I would never dip wings in that ranch. But it's good ranch. So, I'll take that for what you will. But again, I'm a blue cheese boy. When it comes to wings, I used to say, the honorable blue cheese bests the rancid ranch anytime. And it does. Listen, that's just how it is. And, like, seriously, these wings were so good last night that, like, obviously, most orders of wings come with, like, some celery. Even the celery was good. The celery! When have you ever said, oh, you know what's really good? Celery. This was good, like, celery. It was, like, crunchy, fresh, crisp celery. Like, oh my God. It's been forever since I had celery that good. Holy cow. And, I mean, I just mentioned the blue cheese, but, like, this is good blue cheese. Not quite as good as the blue cheese at Elbow Room, but, again, the wings at Nick's just keep getting better and better with each time I have them. And this was the best so far. I mean, the way I see it, and I mentioned this once before, like, having bad food at an otherwise very, very, very good place that you know and love is like getting the measles. It pretty much only happens once. I mean, I've said this story before, but believe it or not, there was a time where I was so incredibly, like, turned off from Elbow Room wings, I never wanted to see him ever again. Oh yeah, well, here's the thing. This was due to several factors. First and foremost, I was actually feeling kind of sick. Like, nauseous. Like, this is probably like, oh gosh, like 20 years ago. This is a long time ago. That's how long, and the Elbow Room has been around for a lot longer. Anyway, so like, I was sick and feeling under the weather. And the other really big factor is my father brought the wings home from Melbourne. Basically, it was takeout, the whole styrofoam containers. And keep in mind, my family lives in Big Flats, Elmira here in Elmira. You gotta drive a good 15, 20 minutes to get from Elmira to my folks' place. And the longer a hot, crisp item is in the styrofoam container, the more steam builds up and therefore makes the item less crispy and in some cases even less flavorful. And between that and the fact, again, I was feeling sick, the wings just didn't look good to me, so I barely ate them. Can you believe that? I mean, again, that's only happened once. Like, anytime listen, I love wings pretty much from anywhere, so I'm never going to complain if I have them or not. But not since then have I ever turned down wings from anywhere. I mean, again, that was like one time, it happened like 20 years ago probably. So, I mean, I was never mad at Elmira at all. In fact, again, I think between the whole styrofoam container thing and the fact I was sick, I think the fact I was sick weighed that out more. So, again, it's not just water on the bridge, it's evaporated water under the bridge. Okay, like, I'm not mad at Elmira for that in the slightest. Like, that was like a one-time thing that really hasn't happened since. So, like, one time in like, probably the good, probably 20, 25 years, like, probably almost, I was older than 4. I'll say 25 years since I've been to Elmira. Like, that says a lot. So again, having a bad experience at your favorite place is like getting the measles. It pretty much only happens once. Well, in my case it has. But then again, I'm the kind of person who's a lot more open to things, is a lot more forgiving of things, is a lot more trusting of things. And believe me, that has bitten me in the rear end before. In fact, again, I think, what's another really, actually, you know what? You're going to find this really crazy too. But, there was actually a time when I didn't like Libs. Really. There was a time I absolutely hated going to Libs. And it had nothing to do with the food, not in the slightest. I mean, I was too young to pay attention to what good food was. But, like, the first couple times I ever went to Libs, the wait for our food just felt so long to me. I mean, granted, this was a big group of people I was with. It was my family. And, again, Libs was also probably packed, too. So, maybe that contributed a factor. But, like, seriously, before I understood the concept of time, I thought we were there for so long. I thought it'd be like 1 o'clock in the morning when we were out there. It was probably only like maybe 7:45 when we left. But again, I'm a dumb kid. I don't know. I can't process time. I didn't know how to tell time yet. And so you probably, and by the way, in case you're wondering what made me like Libs, 2 words: shrimp scampi. Okay? So, yeah. I'm sorry I kind of went off topic. This is a long-winded way of me saying, as much as I like going to the lake any opportunity I can get, like, being here in Elmira on a Friday night, it just hits different in the best possible way. And now that I think about it, this will probably be the one Friday night in the month of August I'll actually be here. Because next week I'm up at the lake for sure. And normally 2 weeks from now I would be here. But 2 weeks from now is also Labor Day weekend. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be taking off. I mean, on the one hand, there's some good things about that and some bad things about that I'm not necessarily looking forward to. However, if and when that does happen, if in fact that is the case, I'll just take it in stride. If this is the one and only Friday night I'm in the city of Elmira, going to Nick's and then going to Illegal. I went to Illegal for a little bit, but there was like an Elmira Free Academy class reunion going on, so I didn't really stay long. So, not to mention, a lot of people I know that work at Illegal are gone now. I'm sad. I should see some of those other people though, because one is stupidly far away, but that's up to me to make the time for that. So, again, if this was the one and only Friday night I'll be in the city of Elmira during the month of August, you know what? I'll take it. Because this was about as solid of a Friday night as I wasn't expecting much. I wasn't expecting anything grandiose. Just a simple Friday night out, going to Nick's, hanging out at Illegal for a little bit, just relaxing. And that's really all I needed. As great as it was, I'll admit, Keuka Lake is just better in a lot of ways. Just being up by the water is just different. I guess there are some things about Keuka Lake that outweigh being here in Elmira, and there are some things about Elmira that outweigh being in Keuka Lake. So you know what? I rescind that. I'll say it's a tie. It's a mix. It's even. It's pretty even. But it was still pretty awesome. I hope you like this video. If you like this, subscribe to YouTube channel. For me, as always, I'm your homie. This video for you guys watching. Joe Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Oh, I forgot to say, happy Saturday, folks. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk channels, we're here to let me know what's your back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.